every single bit of lore you might have missed in Undertale. You guys have been talking about this character called Gaster. Aren't these things called Gaster Blasters? Is there a connect? What is like? Did Gaster like teach Sans everything he knows? Is he like Sans' Master Shifu, or like his uncle, or something? Huh?
At values 91 to 100, if you backtrack to the very beginning of the first bridge where Undyne tried to kill you, you'll find this creepy grayscale version of Monster Kid called mkid_goner in the sprite.
Is that like the scary Shadow Bonnie that appears in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 office sometimes?
Files, and therefore
called like YSJ279625.
Have you ever thought about a world where everything is exactly the same? Except you don't exist? Everything functions perfectly without you. The thought terrifies me. If you grab an umbrella from way far ahead and bring it all the way back here, they comment, "An umbrella? But it's not raining." You know, that does make me feel a little better about this. Thank you. Please forget about me. Please don't think about this anymore. Then, and only then, if you leave the room and come back, they're gone. This leaves fun values 1, 51 to 55, 58 to 60.
I wonder what that means. What does that mean?
64, 67 to 79, and 90 unused. Oh, speaking of rare dialogue, let's talk about the river person for a second, because they have quite a few things to say that you might have missed. This makes sense to go here, right?
The river person is Rolsey, because in the beginning, you see him wearing a hood that's very similar to this.
Rare, just whatever. Most of their dialogue is just funny, meaningless nonsense. I should have worn a few more pairs of pants today. Somewhere it's Wednesday, so be careful. The water is very dry today. I should have worn a few million more pairs of pants.
Well, as one of his dialogues gonna be like, "We're gonna die. I have a bomb strapped to my chest."
But then there are also a few that give some helpful gameplay or lore hints, like to the location of Temmie Village, or how eating the pie while fighting Asgore lowers his attack and defense, or reminding you of the prophecy of the Deltarune, or hinting that Flowey is neither human nor monster. But then there are a few that are a little more mysterious. Beware of the man who came from the other world. Okay, that one could be added to the list of evidence that Sans is from another world of some sort. It makes sense to be warned about him, considering how he would have killed you without the promise he made to Toriel. Did you ever hear the old song Coming from the Sea? That one could be like the wrong...
Hang on. The old song Coming from the Sea. I remember going to the beach, or the river, whatever, with Susie, and she commented on like hearing a song from the other side. I mean, like, maybe there's a connection there, I don't know.
Numbers song? I mean, we're by the sea when that happens, but it comes from our phone and not the sea itself. Maybe it means the statue with the music box playing Azrael's theme then? Well, that's in Waterfall, but not exactly by the sea. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to make of this one. Beware of the man who speaks in hands. Who? Speaking in hands, what does that even mean? Well, this line, if you saw it at all, was almost certainly the only allusion you saw in your playthrough to a very, very hidden character, and is the reason I waited until now to talk about the river person. If you edit your save file and put yourself in room 264,
who is the man
when
who
you open
speaks
the game,
in hands?
you see a message from a character speaking in the Wingdings
Why is he talking in fucking Wingdings?
In all caps, which prominently features hands, and who even has their own text sound. Here's what the Wingdings say. Entry number 17.
This sounds like the... Wait. What video? In my chapter 5 video, or chapter 4, my chapter 5 video, when Flowey and Asgore were standing next to each other, I tried to call someone. And it made that noise. Cell phone? What the hell is that noise?
Dark, darker, yet darker. The darkness keeps growing. The shadows.
What?
Cutting deeper. Photon readings. Negative. This next experiment seems very, very interesting.
Wait, is that why you guys were saying very, very interesting earlier? My mind is blowing right now. This is very, very interesting.
Lovely. Weirdly, if you speed this track up, you get the laugh sound effect used by Muffet and a few other monsters. But more importantly, the name of this room in the game files is room_Gaster.
This is the sound of this Gaster person.
But who or what is a Gaster? Well, some of you observant people...
What was I going to say now? I had something in my brain that I don't remember. What was I going to say? It will come back to me.
may have noticed that there are actually a few fun values that I skipped earlier.
Yes.
3 of them give you a small chance to encounter one of 3 NPCs in the
It's more these like really cursed ass
elevator rooms in
characters.
Hotland, referred to in the game files as G followers, which almost definitely
You funny man. Does this not look like the person who was selling... What were they like? Onion rings? I think? In the festival? Does this not look like this person? Does this not look like who this is?
stands for Gaster followers. Though I suppose it's possible that G could stand for Goner, since like Goner Kid, they
Maybe it stands for Gru.
are all grayscale versions of other NPCs. But pretty much the entire fandom refers to them as Gaster followers, even if they might technically be Goners, whatever that even means. But the way they're numbered in the files,
Gomer.
the order of the fun values they appear at, the order that you can reach each of the rooms they can be encountered in, and how rarely they appear are all completely different orders. So naturally, I'm going to talk about them in none of those. I'm going from the least to most interesting, which is also somehow a different order from any of those. So at fun value 62, if you have a low murder level, Gaster Follower 1 has a 50% chance to appear in front of elevator L3, the
It's so insane.
one right before Muffet's bake sale. They look like the dude licking the ficus in the MTT resort. It makes sense why Asgore took so long to hire a new royal scientist. After all, the old one, Dr. Gaster, they say he created the core. However, his life
Gaster made the
cut
core?
short. One day, he fell into his creation and... Will Alphys end up the same way? If you leave the room and come back before or after
He's
talking
gone.
to them, they'll be gone. At fun value 63, regardless of murder level, Gaster Follower 3 has a 50% chance to appear
What is he going to talk about, like selling onion
in
rings?
front of elevator L2 right after the MTT news segment. Also, I kind of lied earlier because this one doesn't have a normal NPC counterpart elsewhere in the game. It's
Does that not look like a bit like a smiling face? Well, like you can see it's kind of like a droopy body, but it's like a smiling face too. Is that... Is that...
just a weird face thing. I understand why Asgore waited so long to hire a new royal scientist. The previous one, Dr. Gaster. His brilliance was irreplaceable.
Yeah, but he fell
However,
into his
life
he
was
fell
cut
into the
short.
core.
One day, his experiments went wrong and... Well, I needn't gossip. After all, it's rude to talk about someone who's listening.
Who's listening?
Once again, leaving the room and coming
What?
back makes them disappear.
What?
At fun value 61, Gaster Follower 2 has a 20% chance of appearing in front of elevator R1, the first elevator you go on, the one right after the cooking show. This one looks like the guy who regretted spending all his life savings on one of Muffet's donuts.
Yes, yeah.
Alphys might work faster, but the old royal scientist, Dr. W.D. Gaster, one day he vanished without a trace. They say he shattered across time and space. How can I say so without fear? I'm holding a piece of him
If he shut...
right here.
What do you mean you're holding a piece of him?
Yeah, this guy just straight up vanished.
But what if... If he shattered across time and space... Right? Is it like he's everywhere yet nowhere at the same time? Is it like... If he's always listening, and it's a thing like the characters in the world are their own characters, and then you as a player have a meta-narrative kind of fourth wall interpretation. We are technically listening to all the conversations that we're having, happening, all the conversations that we're having, the characters are having, even though they don't really know that we're there because they don't have meta knowledge like we do because we're the people controlling, is Gaster, however you pronounce his name, if he's always listening and he's everywhere yet nowhere at the same time, is he like us? Is he like us, the player? Does he have meta knowledge like us? Is it something like that? Because, again, if he's everywhere yet nowhere at the same time, we are also everywhere yet nowhere at the same time, because we are everywhere, because we're influencing everything and we're seeing all the events, yet we're not physically with the characters in the game. Like that. Right? Is it on a similar level to us? We are Gaster theory. Is it like that?
Dialogue finishes. Okay, let's take this information one piece at a time. Dr.
One piece.
W.D. Gaster. Assuming that this is the character speaking in entry 17, aka room_Gaster.
Hang on a minute. The person talking to us in the beginning when we made the vessel, is that Gaster? Is that who that is? Is it kind of like he became aware of another? He became aware. Is that the person talking to us in the beginning?
The WD in his name is almost unanimously believed to stand for Wingdings, thus tying him
Wingding. His name was Wingdings. First name was Wingdings. Wingdings Gaster.
On top of that, those blaster things that Sans and possibly also Papyrus use are actually called Gaster blasters in the game files.
Yes.
Also, this similarly skull-like attack that Azrael uses is called the Hyper Gunner, and since Gunner is a loaded and potentially Gastery word, people have wondered if this attack has something to do with him too. I just figured I should mention that.
Does this not look like some of the Roaring Knights attacks?
In case. Back to connections with the skeletons though, there's also this really old piece of concept art that Toby shared of Papyrus that says that he has a brother named Comic Sans and a blank named Blank. Many people have noted how strange it was
a uncle called Wingdings.
For Toby to black the message out in that way.
He's got an uncle called Wingdings, Uncle Gaster.
Which would have been much easier editing-wise, leading to speculation that there is an unknown relative that we just aren't allowed to know about yet, which is a spot that Gaster could easily fill. There is absolutely zero evidence for how
is he an uncle? Is he a dad? Is he a grandfather?
He might be related to them, but the most common interpretation.
And if Sans has got power over time and space, if he's a time traveler, and Gaster was destroyed in all manners beyond time and space, meaning that he's everywhere yet nowhere at the same time. This is breaking my brain. What? Why wing my ding to like Gaster?
Over the years is that he was their father. There was also this weird audio file found in the Korean demo of Undertale of all things, which was apparently based on an earlier build of the game for some reason. The audio is just a super early version of the beginning of Metal Crusher, but the name of the file was Grandpa Semi, another font-related name, leading some people to believe that this early concept for a grandfather to Sans and Papyrus eventually morphed into Gaster.
But then who is their dad?
Or maybe Grandpa Semi would have been Gaster's dad, who knows? But Gaster could just as easily be a third brother or like an uncle or something, if he is actually even related to them at all. Whatever the case, Sans and Papyrus have often been speculated to be the two that Gaster addresses at the end of entry 17, with the other most popular guess being Sans and Alphys, but there really is no solid evidence to suggest who he's talking to.
No, but why would it be Alphys? That it would be Sans and Papyrus, I think.
There was also a theory for a bit that the name Gaster could be based on the Aster font, which Sans uses a similar font to when he falls asleep during his fight, but it seems to me like if this was intentional, then Toby would have actually just used the Aster font here instead of one that just kinda looks like it. Back to the followers dialogue though. We also learned that he was the royal scientist before Alphys, and that he was a really good one, and that they say he is the one who created the core. In Alphys' True Lab entries, she mentioned that she learned how to extract determination from the human souls from the blueprints. She never says where she got these blueprints.
But the blueprints were at the the thing
Prints, but many
where
have
the
speculated
photo
based on
is.
this line that Gaster had begun to research how to break the barrier and is the one who designed, if not built, the DT extraction machine. There's even an old theory that Gaster himself wrote all of the true lab entries that have proper capitalization, but this really doesn't hold up under scrutiny. But it is possible that Gaster wrote the blueprints.
Yes, here,
in
the
his workshop,
blueprints.
considering it says that you can't read the symbols they're written in, or maybe it's just the handwriting, suggesting
What if they're written in Wingdings?
that they could be written in Wingdings
That's what I'm saying! What if they're written in Wingdings?
instead of Chicken Scratch. Or maybe they were originally written by Gaster but have some additional scribblings from Alfie's on them. Who knows? So then, let's try to piece together what happened to him. The followers tell us that his experiments went wrong and that he fell into his creation, which could be two separate events, but I'm going to assume that they're the same, that some experiment of his went wrong, causing him to fall into his creation.
What if he invented the technology with the doors? What if he invented the technology with the doors instead of what you're meant to believe is the core? And if he fell into his creation and he got stuck beyond the realm of time and space, he was granted a level of sentience beyond anybody else. Maybe. Meaning that he's everywhere yet nowhere at the same time because the doors are everywhere. So he can see everywhere. What if it's like that?
The immediate assumptions are that his experiment is probably the same one that he talks about in entry 17, and that his creation that he fell into is referring to the core.
But what if it's what if it's not the core though? What if it's not the core? What if you're meant to believe it's the core? What if the core is a red herring? Huh?
But the problem is that those two things don't seem to line up all that well. Entry 17 keeps talking about some sort of darkness spreading and like negative photons or something. But what would that have to do with the functions of the...
Exactly! Photons? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Photons are light particles. Hang on. Or is it... Or are neutrons light particles? Hang on. Are photons light particles? Photons are like light particles, right? And the core's got nothing to do. And if it's like negative photons, if it's like that, then people in chat are saying like dark worlds. But then does that mean that if he understands Undertale, then Undertale is a dark world? So I think he's got something to do with photons and light and anti-light, which is you would assume that what did he say? Negative particles, darker than dark, like how Rossi describes in chapter 3. Yeah, maybe. It's like the opposite of light. And the opposite of a light world is a dark world. Like that type of stuff. So maybe it's that. Maybe it is that. But then wouldn't that mean that, like, Undertale is a dark world if he's, like, able to determine everything that's going on?
Core. I suppose there could be some hidden purpose to the core that we don't know about, but many fans believe that the creation of his that he fell into was something else. But what that could be, it's hard to say. Some have suggested the DT extraction machine, but that doesn't really seem to fit entry 17 either. But whatever it was, he vanished without a trace, and
what we know, it wouldn't. I don't think it would be a physical object. It feels more like a concept. That's what I think. I don't think it's like Gaster fell into this. It's something that's like beyond the physical object, I think. He may have fallen into a physical object, but he's not solely linked to a physical object. It feels like it is a concept that he fell into in like a meta kind of way.
They say that he shattered across time and space.
Yes,
and now
like time
seems
and
to be
space.
always listening in some way.
Yes.
Those they say phrases are mildly infuriating because it makes me doubt how accurate they actually are, but let's just say that they are in fact true. That word shattered seems to imply that he's not just some completely omnipresent, omniscient being across all of time and space in his entirety, but that there are little pieces of him everywhere and every when, hence how he's always listening. Some fans have also interpreted the vanished without a trace line to include him even vanishing from everyone's memories, connecting it to Sans' don't forget note, the fact that trying to name the fallen human Gaster immediately boots you back to the intro as if the game doesn't even know how to process that name, and especially to Goner Kid's dialogue about a world that's exactly the same except you don't exist. But that connection is just loose speculation. It's actually been speculated that all of the fun events are related to Gaster in some way. Before singing the wrong number song, these unknown callers start to ask to speak to someone whose name starts with G, which could be Gaster.
G, yes.
The two other phone calls you can get are from Sans and Alfie's, who
fell outside of bounds of the game. I think there's a meta-narrative connection between how we have power over the world, and Gaster also seems to have that power.
have obvious connections to Gaster. Nightmare mode. Clam Girl is a bit of a loose connection, but she is the one who makes the don't forget note appear in Sans' lab, so that's something at least. And Goner Kid, even if their dialogue wasn't meant to be talking about Gaster, has the similar appearance.
But if he's kind of like that in like a black and white, grey-scaled, monochromatic look, and the Gaster followers are like that, there's obviously a connection.
To the Gaster followers.
Yes,
but there's actually two more fun events I haven't talked about yet. If your fun value is 65, the first time you enter the room at the north of the first crossroads in Snowden, the one where the fishing rod usually is, there's a 50% chance that you will be taken to the sound test room, which contains 4 audio snippets for you to listen to. 3 of them are super short, pointless loops, but the 4th one
I don't know what
Gaster's theme.
I don't know what that currency is. My theory is that Gaster became the game's program. Thank you for the 6. I don't know what that currency is. That's interesting. Maybe.
Once you select it, you are unable to select any of the other songs.
I've heard this song before. I've made 10% progress towards knowing. My mind is expanding.
Then it cuts off suddenly, saying thanks for your feedback, be seeing you soon, before then kicking you right back to the fishing rod room. Interestingly, Gaster's theme in the game files is simply called mus_st, short for sound test, underscore him. And for the final fun event, if your fun value is 66, this seemingly
What if your fun value is 67?
Pointless hallway will always appear the first time you exit the mouse save room in Waterfall to the right. Once you exit the hallway, it will no longer appear when you go between these 2 rooms. But when you enter this fake hallway, there is a 10% chance that there will be a strange gray door in the middle, which is actually a grayscale version of the door sprites used in Sans and Papyrus's house. When you enter it, you are met with this.
This is him. This is Winding Gaster. Mr. Winding himself. This is him.
This sprite is completely intangible, but if you try to interact with it, that sound is the same one used.
That's the guy. That's him, isn't it?
By Gaster Follower 2 when they.
And this is all like grayscaled, and his followers are grayscaled.
That sound is the same one used by Gaster Follower 2 when they disappeared, a sound which is actually a.
Yeah, thanks for the $5. Think about it like layers of reality. Us, Gaster, Undertale / Deltarune, Dark World.
Sped up and reversed Gaster's theme. This sprite in the game files is labeled Mystery Man, but it's Gaster. It just has to be.
Yeah.
There's one other sprite in the game files that some have speculated to be Gaster, or at least a piece of him, because if you hack your way into being able to interact with it, it says redacted in Wingdings, but this is honestly probably just a test sprite in my opinion. Mystery Man being Gaster just makes too much sense. Not only because of the connection to Gaster's theme and it being a fun event, but also the fact that it's specifically fun value 66. See, Gaster actually has battle stats hidden in the game files, which are obviously completely unused, but all of which contain only the number 6. This is
so he's... The number 666, that's not the devil number, right? And the thing that Kara said, I am the demon when you call its name. But 666 is a demonic number, which is like, well, then there's Gaster there.
almost certainly connecting him to the number 666, the mark of the beast, or number of
Yes.
man from the biblical book of Revelation.
Yes.
In case anyone doesn't know, in ancient times, the number 3 was a number of completion, and 7 was a number of perfection. So 666, being 3 times short of 7, symbolizes total imperfection. Basically, in fiction, it's often used as shorthand for something
I didn't know
demonic,
that.
or even
Yes.
simply, this
Yeah.
guy is bad news. So whatever Gaster's deal is, he's probably not a great guy. But yeah, with the mystery man font value being
What if Gaster's the demon that comes when you call its name?
66, and like, the freaking hex code of the color of this room is A6, A6, A6. Or so I've heard, but when I tested this myself,
Is Gaster Undertale Deltarune Satan?
it showed up as AF,
Is
AF,
that
AF,
who it
but that
is?
could just be the footage I was using being ever so slightly discolored or something, but still, Mystery Man just has to be Gaster. He even looks vaguely like a slightly melty skeleton, which would further connect him with Sans and Papyrus. On top of that, this hallway actually did appear in the 10th anniversary livestream, but the gray door was colored in, making it look even more like the doors from Sans and Papyrus' house than before. They didn't show us what was inside though, or comment on it at all. Most fan art also depicts Gaster with giant holes in his hands, which is hard to tell if that's what Toby actually intended with this sprite, but I hope it is because it makes for a really cool and unique.
What if he's doing the 6-7?
Some people have also pointed out that if you flip him upside down, it kind of just looks like a different guy, which I'm not sure I see it so much.
Why does it kind of look like a Rorschach test too? Don't you think?
But if that is meant to be a face, it would certainly fit with the whole demonic, which
I mean, that is like there. If you go to the next thing, right?
If that is meant to be a face,
Like there, it's like a man's face, his nose, and his mouth. What?
it would certainly fit with the whole demonic
What?
motif we've got
What do you
going on.
think about
And
that?
speaking
huh?
of demons, we're still not done with this guy yet, because, hey, remember those strings of text with the demon label that in the game's first update it almost looked like one demon had kicked the other out of its place and replaced it or something? Well, that Demon X string, the one that got kicked out, did seem pretty normal in this initial update, but in a later update, this string was changed to say, in all caps, "He is," and then was changed to be completely empty a few days
What?
later. This all seems very Gastery to me, from the all caps to the out of context use of a single pronoun like mus_st_him to the disappearing. What does
Well, if he is, if something just is, it means it exists. You know? Like, he is. I can't get over that stupid face. He is. Which means that he's always listening, because he just, like, kind of is.
does any of this mean? I have no idea, but it sure is potentially something. But that's not
Which means he has, if something just is, it means, in my mind, I interpret that of, like he has constant object permeance. If something just is, he's everywhere. Which is like, he's everywhere yet nowhere at the same time.
the only instance we have of Gaster may be speaking to us through the code. And in this case, I really mean speaking. There's an audio file in the game's music folder called ABC_123_A. Probably just called that so that it would be at the very top of the folder, so that it would be the first thing anyone saw. And this is what it sounded like in the original release.
Hello, have some respect and don't spoil the game. It's impossible to have mysteries nowadays.
Because of nosy people like you.
Please keep all of this between us.
If you post it online, I won't make any more secrets.
No one will be impressed.
It will be your fault.
This is a very similar
I am Winding's Gaster. Hello. It is me. I am WD Gaster.
message to the original Demon X message, and like that message, it was changed in the game's first update. Here's what it sounds like now.
Interesting.
Considering that these text-to-speech voices are the same ones used to
Interesting.
create the text sound in entry 17,
Yes, it is this, yeah.
this is most likely meant to be Gaster speaking, and maybe the different voices
Yes,
represent
yeah.
different pieces of him or something. All of this stuff buried in the game files led many to the interpretation that, building off of the game's meta-narrative, Gaster's failed experiment had literally gotten him lost in the game's code, or what fans began to refer to from an in-universe standpoint as the Void. Note that this name is purely fanon and has no basis in the actual game, but it was
Interesting.
popular enough that it felt worth bringing up. And that is all that Undertale gives us about Gaster. I mean, it was a lot, but I was still able to sum it all up in a matter of minutes, and we fans had years to mull it all over. Toby did give us one little extra thing to think about at the end of 2015 in a now long-deleted tweet where he cryptically mentioned something whose very nature was shrouded in darkness, which sounds like it could relate to Entry 17, but then after that, nothing. Theories abounded, but there's only so much we can do with this amount of information. After a while, it started to feel like we had reached the end of all possible speculation about this character, and we're still left with more questions than answers. Toby gave us just enough information about him to make him incredibly intriguing, without giving us any answers about who he was or why he even exists in this game.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. That is so interesting.
All. Finally, the last thing I want to do in this video is talk about some things that are exclusive to Undertale's various console ports. The first port was to the PS4, which came with a unique menu theme and even a brand new soundtrack, a calm yet mysterious rendition of the game's main theme that the Collector's Edition soundtrack revealed to be called Before the Story.
God, such good music though, huh? Oh my word.
But in the game itself, you can now go inside Papyrus's sink, where you'll find a shrine to the annoying dog. There's even a new remix of the Dog Room soundtrack.
It's Japanese. It's like Chapter 5.
Base game. If you donate money to the shrine, random things will start appearing in it that have funny flavor text. None of it is the least bit important, and doing this is completely pointless except to give you trophies. Thanks, Toby. Also, there was a PS Vita version with a shrine in it too, if anyone cares. In the next port, the Switch version, when you enter the sink, you'll find a ruined dog shrine with a padlocked door in the center.
Well, that looks like the Joy-Cons over there.
If you come back here after reaching New Home, the lock will be gone. Inside is a Mew Mew doll slash robot thing that seems to have been built by Alphys. That or she found it in the garbage dump and repaired it. Anyway, inspecting it puts you into a fight, and Mad Mew Mew starts talking to you.
Oh, this is just Chapter 5.
It's pretty clear from the way she talks that this is the same ghost you fought as Mad Dummy earlier, who has now found a new body she likes even better and is trying to fuse with it. It's a pretty cool fight with a unique mechanic that takes advantage of
this is literally just the thing.
Controller having 2 analog sticks. You can't damage her at all until you survive long enough to exhaust her dialogue, and then suggest to try using emotions other than anger to fuse with the body, at which point you have the choice to either spare her and help her on her way to figuring out how to fuse, or destroy the body, after which the ghost says she'll repair it and then come kill you later. Finally, in the Xbox port, we return to the dog shrine once more, where the annoying dog plows all the old ruined stuff away and turns it into a casino. Once again,
gambling!
Just has random
W gambling!
You can get achievements and stuff. But more importantly, Sans actually shows up in here to comment on all the stuff you get. Most of it is still not important, except for one. At some point, winning at the slot machine will start covering the room with whatever this is, and if you get a ton of them, Sans will reminisce about a really bad blizzard in Snowdon a little while back. He once again brings up how Asgore would act as Santa, bringing everyone presents, including, Sans says, the antlered girl and her big sis. This doesn't seem to really match anyone in the game, so people have speculated that it's actually talking about Rudy's daughters that were mentioned in the Winter Alarm Clock dialogue.
Interesting.
Some people also wondered if the two of them were actually the ones we hear in the wishing room through these echo flowers wishing to see the real stars, or even the passing conversation we hear throughout the rest of Waterfall. Also, once you get to New Home, Sans gets replaced by Mad Mew Mew, who has her own unique dialogue for everything in the casino. So she is just retroactively a character that exists in this world, which is pretty cool. And also in this port, there are little messages that can come up when you disconnect your controller, some of which are funny, and some of which are this. But rewinding a little bit, there is one more thing added to the Switch port that I didn't mention. If your fun value is specifically 81, if you talk to Clam Girl and then come back and talk to her again during the True Pacifist ending, she has something new to say about this mysterious Susie. So, you never met my neighbor's daughter, but please don't despair.
My name is Susie Deltarune.
Is fast approaching.
What? She becomes a Gaster follower?
That appearance, that disappearance, that sound?
Yes.
Before our eyes, Clam Girl had just turned into a Gaster follower.
Yes.
A goner. Because yes, this time these new sprites are actually labeled as goners in the files, nearly confirming the theory that all of these grayscale NPCs are goners, and massively strengthening Clam Girl's connection to Gaster and the other fun events. But what could it mean that the time that we will meet Susie is fast approaching? The Switch port came out on September 18, 2018, 3 days after Undertale's 3rd anniversary.
Well, that's when Deltarune came out in 2018. That's when Chapter 1 came out.
A month and a half later.
Yeah, Deltarune Chapter 1,
The Undertale Twitter account went dark. Literally. The profile picture was just a black circle, and the name was replaced by 6 black bars. Toby took note of this on his personal account too, saying, "It's cold. It's as if everything had been enveloped in a black wind. You didn't realize it yet, but it seems that there's someone who wants to talk to you." And there was. On the Undertale,
Susie Gaster.
Someone began talking. Someone who used weird spacing and all caps.
Is it Wingding Gaster?
Have you been looking for me?
Have you been looking for me? How wonderful. I have been looking for you as well.
I have
I
something.
have something.
Something I
I
want
want
to
to
show
show you.
Something I think
Something
you will find.
I think you will find very, very interesting.
Very interesting.
He said the thing. Very, very
But-
interesting.
It is not complete yet. No, it is far from complete. Thus, I have a small favor to ask of you.
Interesting.
Return here
Interesting.
in 24 hours.
Gaster has a Twitter account confirmed.
At that time, I will ask you a few questions. Then, using your responses, we will approach its realization.
Interesting.
Thank you very much for your time.
Susie Gaster
I
is
will be in
real.
contact again soon. This was Gaster.
Yes.
We all knew it. The all
Gaster
caps, the
has
weird
a Twitter
spacing, the
account.
Very, very interesting. The fact that the name was 6 black bars, which is not only the Gaster number, but is literally the number of letters in his name. This character that had intrigued us for so long, who we thought we knew everything there was to know about, was talking directly to us on social media. Toby clarified on his
Gaster
personal
has a
account
Twitter
that it was
account.
really important for us to come back here in 24
Gaster
hours
Twitter
because
theory.
he wanted to
Let's get
create
some
something new, and it
very,
all
very
began with our
interesting in
feedback.
chat.
So Toby was going to ask fans what they wanted him to create next? Awesome. I knew what my suggestion was going to be. Toby had promised in the Kickstarter to create some sort of comic, and that hadn't happened yet, so I wanted him to make that. Maybe a prequel comic about the war or something that would give us maybe a few more hints about Gaster while still leaving room for theorizing, you know? So I came back the next day ready to give my feedback, and Gaster greeted us once more. Thank you for waiting so long. After all, you and I, we have both been waiting such a very long time. So to be here, finally, on the verge of connection, is quite exciting. I look forward to creating a new future with you. Now,
Creating a...
show yourself, Deltarune.
Did Gaster create
And then
Deltarune?
3 identical links to a website called deltarune.com.
What?
Of course, we thought nothing of it. The Deltarune was a pretty important thing in Undertale, after all. We didn't know it at the time, but using the Wayback Machine on this website
Whoa.
reveals that it had existed since at least December 2015, when it only contained a seemingly all-black
Did Gaster create
image called
Deltarune?
him.png, which, when the contrast
What?
was turned up, revealed a message in all caps wingdings saying, "This next experiment seems very, very interesting." An excerpt from entry 17.
Is Deltarune a Gaster experiment?
And then in December 2016, the text on the image was
What?
changed to say, 3 heroes appeared to banish the angels' heaven. But
What?
today, October 31,
What?
2018, it contained a message
And
from
the
Toby
3
asking
heroes...
us not to discuss on
Shut up!
social media.
Stop with YouTube captions. And the 3 heroes are the 3 heroes...
Anything we
It's
found
the
here for the
prophecy.
next 24 hours, and a download link to an installer for a program called, in all caps, Survey Program. So he had made an entire program just to get our feedback. Cool.
What?
Opening the installer, which
What?
was labeled as being version 6.6.6,
Yes,
by
yeah.
the way, we were greeted in the terms and conditions by this simple, ominous message. You accept everything that will happen from now on.
And that little symbol up there is the symbol that happens when you run Deltarune in windowed. Up there.
In all caps again. Once the survey program was installed, we opened it and were met with a direct continuation of the conversation we were just having on Twitter. Are you
Wait,
there?
this is the text that plays at the end of... This is like what happens at the end of chapter 4, when it says, "How long now, my Deltarune?" Did Gaster make the new Galaxy A575G? What? Gaster owns
Are
Samsung.
we connected?
Yeah. The soul and the sound that play...
Excellent.
What? And this is the text from the beginning of the game too.
Truly excellent.
What?
Now, we may begin.
This is the thing!
Needless to say,
This is the
was
thing!
a
This is
very
the thing!
elaborate
This is the
way
thing!
to conduct a
This is
simple
the thing
survey.
from the beginning of Deltarune.
Then, with a new rendition of Gaster's theme playing in the background, we were asked to create a vessel.
This
Wow,
is the
we're even
thing-
creating simple little avatars for this thing. But when the questions started coming, that's when things got weird. What's your favorite blood type? How do you feel?
My connection to this world is a connection with Gaster. Huh? Gaster was the person asking me to make a vessel.
About your creation? You acknowledge the possibility of pain and seizure, I guess? Oh, it wants my name. Phil. Oh, wait, is it asking for my, like, actual
My
real
name!
IRL
It
name
wants to
now?
know who
Nah,
I
these
am!
responses are being, like, uploaded somewhere and recorded, right? I'm not doing that. Just Phil again, I guess. Of course.
Yeah, what a
Of
wonderful
course.
vessel. It will now be discarded.
Of course. They are the same. Hello? What does that mean? It was becoming pretty clear that something more was going on here. And it wouldn't be long before we realized that this was not a survey program at all. This was a brand new game, one which we would soon come to know as Deltarune Chapter 1. And that was literally everything I could think of that you could have missed in Undertale that
Holy
you might possibly
fuck.
want to know before playing.
My mind is blown. My mind is blown. My
missed
mind
anything,
is
please let me know in the
blown.
comments again
Oh
without
my
Deltarune
god, my
spoilers,
mind is
and I will
blown.
be back.
This is the outro and like massive shout out to Phil Gaimz, by the way. This video is amazing. The vessel you meet, the vessel you make is grayscaled too, isn't it? The vessel you make is grayscaled in the beginning. There's no color with it. There's no color. Like the Guna followers or whatever they're called. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Holy shit. No ways. No ways. No ways. I am Gaster. I am Gaster. It's me.